Happy Valley is racing on Wednesday night. We've got it previewed for you right here. Welcome to Racing to Win. 9 races at the City Circuit this week, and joined in the studio for the midweek edition of the show by Tom Wood and Nick Child. And Nick, what can we look forward to on Wednesday nights?
Yeah, it's a decent Happy Valley card, this, actually, and there are some pretty handy enough races towards the end of it. There's a really good race over 1,000 metres, and a couple of nice younger horses that are seemingly progressing up through the ranks as well.
Occupying the Paul Ellie seat is Tom Wood. Tom, he's left the jackpot notes, has he?
The big man's away at the moment. He's had a busy week, so he's needed a week off. Has Paul, and we've got $33 million worth of jackpots. There's $18 million for the triple trio, and in terms of the six-up as well, there is around about $15 million for the six-up. So plenty of reasons to get involved. James McDonald looks like he's got a good book Wednesday night.
He does indeed. We'll talk more about Wednesday night very soon, but we can't go forward without going back to relive the week that was. It had it all. Fireworks, rain, Sir Alex Ferguson, and that's before we even get, Tom, to what happened on the track.
Yeah, on the track was superb, Mark. Some great performances. Of course, none bigger than Romantic Warrior with what he did in the Hong Kong Cup to make it 3. Becomes the horse in the world that has the most prize money next to his name. And then, of course, Voyage Bubble also for the home team. And that's not to mention HKIR Rising racking up his first Group 1 victory as well.
He did some of your highlights of the week, Nick?
Yeah, look, I think overall it was just a phenomenal meeting, really. I was really impressed by the Vase winner, Gia Velotto. I thought he was superb. Marco Botti, who's had to wait a fair while for another Group 1 winner, but he's got a good horse here and given it a great ride by Oisin Murphy as well. It was always the plan, so great to see it pay off.
Absolutely. He just put them away at the top of the straight and won so well. The top 5 Hong Kong rated horses appearing on screen, Nick, and no surprise number 1, although we haven't seen number 2 for a while.
No, we haven't. Lucky Sweynesse, of course, there, 132. Romantic Warrior, 1-3. For HKIR Rising, well, he's rise to the top. Has taken no time at all there, Tom, and Voyage Bubble, California Spangle, of course, and the latter, a very good horse in his own right.
Yeah, so HKIR Rising, without winning a Group 1, was still very highly rated, so he stays on 128 points. Looking at, of course, where Lucky Sweynesse is at the moment, he has been galloping, so maybe we're not too far away from seeing him step out back on the trials track, and won't be far away before we get the next round of the Longines World Rankings as well.
Absolutely, and our next Group 1 races in Hong Kong are the Centenary Sprint Cup and also the Stewards Cup coming up on the 19th of January. But because we love racing in Hong Kong, we have to move on to Happy Valley on Wednesday night with 9 races on the B course, and the 2 races we focus on, races 7 and 9, the Nightjar Handicap and the Sea Eagle Handicap. Class 3s over the 1,000 and the 1,650. The Nightjar looks this way, flying high all of his wins at 1,000 metres, but they've all been at Shah 10. Sports Legend hasn't raced since May. No trials to prepare for this. Youthful Spirits has the blinkers going on. Fast Responder, the hood, and the shadow roll comes off. The blinkers on the first time. A America Spexo is first up. Candlelight Dinner, no hood. Midori Glory, no blinkers. Celestial Harmony, he has his first try over 1,000 anywhere. And Happy United pacifiers with cows off and the blinkers on. And Do Your Part down the bottom for Antoine Hamlin and Francis Loy. Tom, with Youthful Spirits, likely going straight to the lead.
Yeah, he's one horse that definitely likes to lead, and another horse that could go forward from a wide draw is Candlelight Dinner, but he is drawn awkwardly for this assignment out in barrier number 10. You've got Happy United, who shouldn't be too far away. Midori Glory, who was a bit disappointing last start, has come up with barrier 1 to track Candlelight Dinner into the races. Fast Responder. Horses like Do Your Part will have to go back, and also Flying High from his wide stall. He's drawn barrier 12, so I think they've only got one option with him.
It's interview time, though, ahead of race number 7. Here's Nick with Andrea Atzeni.
Andrea, the pace certainly keeps up and doesn't relent here in Hong Kong. We're off to Happy Valley on Wednesday night. Race 7 looks a good competitive 1,000-metre race. You're riding Heroic Master. It was a really good effort last time.
Yeah, he ran very good the last day on the straight course behind a horse that was very impressive. So back to Happy Valley, which he's run well there before, with a good draw, which is a big thing, and hopefully with quite a bit of pace in the race, we can get into a nice pitch. It's a horse that comes from just off the pace, and hopefully if the pace is strong, he could be finishing very good again.
That was probably the most notable thing, Andrea, is that there is obviously plenty of pace, always is in these types of races, and for a horse like him, he's got that sort of slingshot ability, hasn't he, late on?
Oh, he has. Like I said, that last run, it excuses the time before, and we probably tried him on the dirt, and just didn't quite go for him. But no, with a good draw and plenty of pace, he's a horse, like I said, he's a very good finisher. Hopefully he can. I'm sure he'll finish it again, and hopefully get on top. It deserves to, because the way around the last day, he hopefully should be competitive.
Yeah, all of his form, of course, around it. Now, he's drawn 2. Now, traditionally, obviously, would say Happy Valley 2 is a very good draw. Perhaps if they are pressing forward a bit, but for a horse like him that will be held up, plenty of cover, is that a good thing for him?
It is, yeah. Like I said, he's a horse that he hasn't got a lot of early speed, and it's not a horse you can rush him early too, because you want to try to save his last bit of kick towards the end, and it's a good draw. If we get lucky him running, I think he could be very competitive.
There is Andrea Atzeni, Nick, Heroic Master. This is his place, isn't it? 1,000 metres at Happy Valley.
It is, yeah, look, for sure. And, I think he's got a cracking chance, just the way the race might well map for him.
Yeah, it looks a good opportunity for him. His last win was off 68. He's off a mark of 64, so he's well handicapped at the moment.
On we go, Tom, to Youthful Spirits, who gave a big side here. He ended up getting run down, but the format of this race is good. Healthy's now won 2 in a row.
Yeah, 2 in a week as well, so he came out and won after this. I thought it was a good performance from him. Mark Noonan putting a set of blinkers on this time round as well. Just looked a peak on that run over the last 100 metres, but still I think he might not get too much pressure up front here, so that just could assist him, I thought.
Yeah, possibly. I think he needs a lot to go right for him. I didn't mind the run of Atomic Force there as well. He was keeping on nicely.
We're going back to May. Nick, this is Midori Glory. We've had to go back to May for this replay because this is the last time, apart from track work, we've seen Sports Legend.
Yes, indeed. Obviously a horse who we haven't seen on track for a little while. Sports Legend, 203 days, no trials as well since then. So interesting to see him again. Midori Glory has got the blinkers coming. Form's just tapered off a little bit recently, Tom. I mean, he's dropped down to 68 now, but he's still £5 higher than that win.
Yeah, he was disappointing last start, I thought. Of course, close up there behind Beauty Waves, who was a bit luckless in the sprint at the weekend. Yeah. Of course, Beauty Waves. This horse here, I thought, a little hard to have on his recent trial. His form's sort of gone south at the moment, but I am keen to see what Sports Legend can do first up off that tendon injury. I think he looks fit, ready to go.
And the man that rides him, Tom, you mentioned earlier in the show that James McDonald has a good book of rides.
He does. He's had 13 winners. Of course, a couple of those were certainly achieved at the weekend for James McDonald. 3, in fact, of course, he had Devano in an earlier race, and he's striking for a win percentage around 23.2. His rides he's got On the Lash in the first. He'll be doing well there. Dan Attack, Telecom Dragon. Escape Route, I don't think the worst take action, the last start winner for John Seisnick.
Yeah, for sure. And look, the latter part, Sports Legend, as we've mentioned, interesting runner there. Yi Chung Spirits in form. One with a little bit in hand, I fancy, last time. And Simply Maverick in the last as well. So he's going to be busy on Wednesday night, and unsurprisingly, he's able to garner some nice rides, of course.
And that is James McDonald. We are not done, Nick, with the runners in race number 7, though. We need to see what A America Spexo's done at the trials. He hasn't raced since June. He's had 3 trials to prepare for Wednesday nights.
He has, yeah. 168 days off the track for him as far as racing's concerned. So he's had a couple of runs first up in the past. Look, they've only been so-so. Maybe he's the type that does take a run. 4th here in this trial up at Chung Fa. I was happy enough to watch him. His wins have been 1,200, Tom.
Yeah, so 1,000 metres is a concern. I think fresh is a concern as well. The stable this time last season, John Size, he had 14 winners this time last season. He's only had 5 this season, 1 winner in the last 30 days. So normally sort of see November as the sort of moving period for John Size. We're still waiting for that period to come around.
We are indeed. But if he's not going to figure in this race on Wednesday night, Tom, who do you like to win the 1,000 metre race?
Yeah, I like Heroic Master here in this race. I think he's certainly due a winning turn. Is Heroic Master coming out of the stable of Frankie Lor. Andrea Atzeni, well rated, been well over 12 months since he's won. Now, he chased home Fast Network, who's due to line up this coming weekend at Sharton. He hacked up that day and ran good time too, did Fast Network. And out of that race, King Profit has placed it the weekend at a big price. So I'll go 10 Heroic Master to beat Sports Legend first up. Atomic Force goes in, was costly for him last time out because he was slow out, but he still stayed on behind Healthy. And then maybe Youthful Spirit's not the worst with the blinkers going on. If he doesn't get too much pressure from Candlelight Dinner, who probably does come across, I think if he can find a bit in the straight, he'll be there or thereabouts for Luke Ferraris and Mark Newnham. 10, 2, 3 and 4.
Yeah, going the 10 as well here. I just think this race maps quite nicely for Heroic Master, who, as Tom made mention of earlier on, is well enough handicapped on his best. Andrea Atzeni, Frankie Lor combined there. Atomic Force, I thought, kept on quite well last time. He goes in for second. Youthful Spirits, look, he goes forward. He might be a bit of a hostage to fortune in front, but he can certainly run well. And Sports Legend looks interesting also there, returning 10-3, 4-2 for me.
All right, that's the boys' selections for race number 7. You mentioned Tom Fast Network running on the weekend, and he runs over 1,000 metres again too.
He does. So I think there's a decent enough sort of form reference there with Heroic Master. I think he sort of surprised them what they did last time out with Heroic Master. Surprised Zach there with the performance he did put up. So maybe he's a bit better than they thought he was, Fast Network.
And Andrea Atzeni, Nick, comes here off the back of a win in the first race at Sharton on Sunday.
He did indeed, yeah. Look, he was busy, wasn't he, on Sunday? He was the only man to have had a full book, and having spoke to him at track work, he's been busy. He likes to be that way, and he's got some nice rides going forward. So many more winners to come for the Italian, I'm sure. And
the boys hoping Heroic Master will indeed be one of them on Wednesday night. We're going to take a break here on Racing to Win. We'll come back with a look at the last after this. The best bets, the long shot, the plays, and of course, even though he's not here, Paul's last run reminder will follow this. Welcome back to Racing to Win. This is the preview for Happy Valley on Wednesday night. 9 races coming up on the card at the City Circuit. And Tom, we're out of the break. That means it's last run reminder time, as it appears. Paul's got a bit of an unnatural love affair with this horse lately. It's last run reminder again, understandably so, after its lack of luck last time.
Well, it is Class 5, and he does like a Class 5 horse, as we know, does Paul. And race 2 it is, Modest Gentleman, who was a bit slow away after being squeezed up at the start, and he was a clear last. And you can see 0.24 quicker than standard through the first section here now. And he's done the right thing. He's taken his medicine after being slow from the start. He stayed on the inside. Now, this was where the rail was right out, and there was normally they sort of fan off the turn, and there's an opportunity to sneak up on the fence. Well, that wasn't the case with him. It was a nightmare watch if you were on Modest Gentleman. This night, of course, Plentiful won. Wind speed is there as well, going around for the 3rd week in a row, and Modest Gentleman was desperately unlucky.
We needed a little warning down the bottom with horror themes contained in that last run reminder. It just did not happen for him, as you saw. So nice and easy to remember. Race 2, number 2. 2 Little Ducks, Modest Gentleman, the last run reminder. On to the final race we go. It's the Sea Eagle Handicap, Class 3 over the 1,650 metres. Simply Maverick is a 3-time course and distance winner. Vincent Ho rides Hemron for Francis Loy. Nearly fine, ran over the 1,200 last start. He jumps to the 1,650. Noisy Boy comes to the Valley for the first time. He's had a trial since his debut. His win over in Australia was 1,550 metres at the Kensington track. Rising from Ashes steps up in distance. Chain of Gold comes back in trip. Glorious Journey won his best race in this grade last time. Satanta's had 2 trials since we last saw him. Midori Fuji is on debut in Hong Kong. 6 trials, 3 of them season, and was formerly trained by Matthew Dunn. Wins over 1350 at Ipswich and 1400 metres at Nowra in New South Wales, and Lucky Glory has run fourth at his last two over the 1200 metres. Simply Maverick from the inside gate here, Tom, is going to punch up and hold I Can, and they might not go very quick.
Well, there's two things here, Mark. There's no pace and there's no leader in this race. So it might be left to Simply Maverick here, who was drawn out last time out, to go forward here for James McDonald. I Can could sit handy. Hamron might be sort of one place further forward than he would sort of normally be in a run here, and he was a bit unlucky last time out. Ivy League, Midori Fuji normally settled off the pace over in Australia prior to arriving. Noisy Boy was sort of second or third in a recent barrier trial, a small field might add, over a 1600 metre trip. And Nearly Fine, well, he's coming from 1200 metres up to this distance here of 1650 metres, and he might settle towards the back here with Rising from Ashes, who is another one that's had a trial. Glorious Journey, he was sort of about midfield, maybe a fraction worse last time out, and he closed off nicely, but it could be tough if nobody's willing to make a move down the back straight with a slow anticipated tempo.
And on Glorious Journey, Nick spoke too. He's trainer Frankie Lor to see how he has done since that last start placing.
Frankie Lor, race 9, the final race on Wednesday night. You're going to saddle Glorious Journey. That was a really big run last time out, and he just touched off.
Yes, last start I thought he would win, but outside horse too strong, and but he won good, yeah.
You say you thought he was going to win. I mean, it looked to all intent and purposes that he was going to win. I mean, he was probably in front with 100 metres to go, and then obviously Jumbo Legend running you down. I imagine Matthew probably thought the same, did he? He probably didn't expect to see that horse come past him.
Of course, but that horse quite strong, so he just passed really quick. So I think can't say anything, yeah.
I mean, focusing on your horse, of course, he's a pretty handy horse around here, I know, and these conditions suit him well.
Yes, I don't mind the draw because he's take it back, and last quarter he should be a strong finish. Yes.
Yeah, you've got gate number 9, so I guess a bit of pace will certainly help him.
Yes, fast pace should be better. Yeah.
You've got a few drawn gate 9, haven't you? We were just talking. You've got 2 or 3 in barrier number 9 this Wednesday night.
Yes, Wednesday night. I think I have three or 4 drawn 9. So is he lucky for me or not?
He's gone up a couple of pounds, Frankie, to 65. He should get competitive off that mark, shouldn't he?
Yes, I think last season still thinking Class 3 is still okay for him, but now I think he's much mature. I think he can win in Class 3, yeah.
There he is, Frankie Lor there. Tom, talking about Glorious Journey. Is he a horse you've had some time for in the past?
Yeah, I have, Mark. I've had certainly in the mix in the past, and look, I think he can run well here again in this final event for Frankie. Was just there a sitting duck to be run down by Jumbo Legend. We've seen out of that race the form's been frank with Soleil Fighter, of course, won with Holly Doyle last week, and there was nothing wrong with his recent barrier trial. He looked good in that trial, so he's definitely one of the leading candidates in the last.
What about your thoughts on Glorious Journey, Nick?
Look, I think he's got every chance. I mean, on that showing last time out, they put him up a couple of pounds naturally for it, but I mean, he was basically in front all bar the line, wasn't he, when the fast-finishing winner, Jumbo Legend, came past him. So, look, if he runs to the same level of form this time in, he's a definite player for sure.
What do we do with Chain of Gold? Do we forget the 1,800 metre run last time and go off his 1,650 metre form, which is very consistent?
Yeah, look, perhaps. I mean, his win has been over the course and distance, just a one-time winner from top. What's noticeable with him, he's one of them horses, he usually goes around well supported. He's not been any bigger in his last 5 runs than 5.9, so there's usually really good support for him. I think you've got to judge him really on the 1,650 form, Tom, and if doing so, and if he gets a nice run, he's another player.
I've never been real sort of mad cool on this horse in the past, a Chain of Gold, and you could probably forgive him last time out. He wanted to do a bit wrong. He wanted to lay in the home straight, and I don't think they were overly disappointed with the effort last time out, so maybe he can come back here over the 1,650 and perform. And he's just got a 1 win next to his name, but he's been placed on numerous occasions too.
He sure has. As we move on, Tom, now to this replay of I Can, who's racing fairly consistently. He draws barrier number 7, so a little wider than what he has had at his last 3 starts. On the flip side, Simply Maverick drew barrier number 12, and as we saw on the speed map, he has barrier number 1 and is the possible leader in the race too.
Yeah, because they have gone with forward with him in the past, so maybe they just take the bull by the horns here and lead up with him. It was a pretty good effort from him after jumping awkwardly. Might have been by design from that sort of barrier 12 and went all the way back to the inside and stayed on there. He is off a mark of 78 here, so he's still a bit higher at the moment. And of course the other one there, ICAN, not easy to catch on a win line, just a 2-time winner, but he's always backed in the market and he generally runs a good solid race.
Yeah, he does. And I think Andrea going back on board's a positive too. Alexi rode him last time. Obviously, no disrespect to Alexi, but Andrea knows him very well.
The record that Andrea has on the horse, he's ridden both wins from 12 starts on ICAN. Our lucky Glory Nick's been catching the eye lately, but they've been over 1,200 metres. He's yet to step up to 1,650. And the lack of pace in the race may not be ideal, but you can't fault the way he's been finishing.
No, absolutely not. Look, he's kept on well, beating a half-mile Kairos Dragon. He was a length and a quarter off Gusto Sissimo, as a horse going the right way, obviously last time out, as we can see. Look, he's sort of been anchored around 63, 62 in his last 5 runs. He's one of them horses, Tom, that he's his own worst enemy, because with his consistency and his decent effort, he's usually staying on that same mark and just finding it a bit tough, perhaps, to win one.
Yeah, I think just with the pace in this race, the lack of, that's going to really hinder him this time round. He got home well there behind Gusto Sissimo, and he has been tried at this distance in the past. Let's not forget, 4 starts and it's only yielded 1 minor placing. So I'm happy to stay away from him this time round.
Is this horse, Tom, in the same boat? Satanta been tearing up Happy Valley, but the speed map top right corner, the word slow is a worry, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's drawn barrier 2, so I'm sort of interested to see what they do with him. They probably go back like they normally do. He did win in June of last season over ICAN and ran into him last time out. Thought the trial was good here at Sha Tin last week. He looked to get to the line pretty nicely there over the concluding stages, but happy to leave him out here as well.
Yeah, he's £9 higher than that win as well, and obviously has form with ICAN. Decent enough horse, has ticks in all the right boxes, class and trip, but yeah, look, it was tough enough to make too much of a strong case for him.
So that is a breakdown of the runners in race number 9 and the boys' thoughts also. Which are the top 4 for you, Tom?
I don't mind to Hammer On again. I thought he was a bit luckless last time out. I'm not saying he would have won last time Hammer On, but he might have finished in the placings. There was only a length and a quarter between the top 8 in that race. So go again with Hammer On over Glorious Journey. Simply Maverick should give you a good run for your money off the front there for James McDonald and Ricky Yu, if that's indeed the way they go with him. And ICAN, always pretty consistent. 2-time winner from 18. 2, 8, 1 and 7.
Yeah, gone the 8 here, Glorious Journey. I think he can go one better than last time. Let's hope he can, and there aren't no fast finishers. ICAN in for second, number 7 can go well. Simply Maverick in, and so too Chain of Gold. So 8, 7, 1, 6 for me.
And all of the replays and previews are available on the website hkjc.com. Click on audio and video for race-by-race analysis. But the end of the show is fast approaching, Tom. We need your best bet, please.
Yeah, best bet on the program is Ninja Derby, race 6, number 8. Now, I think the winning and losing of this race was on the home turn last time out. I think Zach's got a point to prove here with this horse. Take Action went to the inside. He was next to him, but he came out. Bit Superstar, race 4, number 2, Pierre Ung. This horse here is trialled well on the all-weather recently at Sha Tin. He's dropping in grade is Bits Superstar, and he's taking on the likes of Fatal Blower last start. Winner also was Side Happy, who was unlucky last start, and he's been freshened for this assignment. Comes out of a good form race. Sugar won it. Swift Ascend has won. Divano has won, and Gusto Sissimo has won from that last assignment as well. The play race 8, 1, 2 and 3, Yichong Spirit, Circuit Duffy and California Deeply.
Yeah, best bet for me coming up on Wednesday night, race 7, number 10, Heroic Master. It looks like it really does tee up nicely for this guy. Good, strong pace. We'll see. He'll come late and fast. Race 2, number 12, The Value, Wind Speeder. Just a one-time winner, Alexis Pouchon, having a go on board Wind Speeder this time in. And race 6 is the play, numbers 1, 2 and 8.
Telecom Dragon close last time, gets his opportunity here. Race 3, number 6, drawn barrier 3, James McDonald for Dinner Ship. The Value, race 5, number 8, Flying Silver, well rated. All of his wins have been over 1,800 metres in the play, and McDonald all up 3, 8, 9 the races, 6, 1, 1 the numbers of the horses. That is Happy Valley on Wednesday night. Time to pull up the diary and see what's coming forward. Sha Tin Sunday, and have we got a Christmas present for you? An all-weather meeting on the 18th of December, Nick.
Can't wait for it. Absolutely can't wait.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Welcome to the dirt.
Absolutely. So that is what is upcoming. No feature races after last week at Hong Kong. But there is still 9 races to find at Happy Valley on Wednesday night. Thanks to the boys, and thanks to you for joining us on Racing to Win. We'll see you at the Valley.